So all of you just see this problem. In this today's practical, we are going to do the structural analysis, that is basically the bar under axial load. Okay, if you can see this problem, okay, this problem we have already solved. This problem we have already solved in your lecture. Okay, I will just share my screen.
सर प्रैक्टिकल का बता रहे क्या अभी थ्योरी पढ़ा रहे?
Practical. We are starting with the practicals, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So see, in this today's session, we are going to start with the structural analysis, that is bar under axial load. So if you can see the problem, this problem we already covered during the lecture. Okay. So we will solve this same problem by using in the practical, that is by using ANSYS. So I will just briefly explain what is this problem. Okay, so we are interested to calculate, find the displacement, stresses and strain in the elements of this stepped bar as shown in figure. Take E is equal to 200 gigapascal. Okay, so this entire structure, it is made up of single value of E. That means it is made up of same material. Okay, now let's consider this first cross section. First cross section, it is measuring 250 mm square. Okay, we have one more cross section that is measuring 400 mm square, right? See, I will just annotate it. Okay, so see, if you can, if you just see this bar, this cross section, it is 250 mm square, and this cross section, it is 400 mm square, right? Now see what they have done. This at a distance 150 mm from the fixed end, they have applied 300 kilonewton load. Okay, this length is 150, this length is 150, and this length is 300, right? At the leftmost end, they have make it fixed. At the right hand side, or at the right end also, they have make it fixed, right? So this is our problem. This is our basically the problem, right? Now see what is required in FEA, or if you need to solve it in manually, or you need to solve it by using ANSYS. So what is basic expected is you should form the elements and then you should form the nodes. Okay, so based on the criteria, change in cross section, see this length, this total length, this 250 mm square, this is one cross section, and 400 mm square, this is one cross section. So as a result, I will get only two elements. But what they have done at this point, they applied some load. So that point I am bringing down. So I will be getting one more element. So as a result, I am getting this as a one element, right? This as one more element, element number 2, and this as the element number 3. So my node becomes node 1, node 2, node 3, and node 4, right? So this is node 1, this is node 2, this is node 3, this is node 4, right? See, this has been already explained to you during lecture. I will not go into the detail of this, okay? Because here we are focusing majorly on the how to solve it by using ANSYS, right? So this is your elements, and these are your nodes. Okay, so let's start with this one. Okay, so I will start. So what we'll do is, see, as I told you in the last practical, okay, you need to download ANSYS, okay, from ANSYS student version, that is freely available on the website. So I have already downloaded it. Okay, so I'm just typing. Okay, I'll be typing mechanical. I'll be typing mechanical. Okay, so this app will be available, that is mechanical APDL product launcher 2021 revision 1. Okay, so this I'll be using mechanical APDL product launcher 2021 revision 1. So I'll just click on that. Okay, so this window will come. As I told you, this environment has to be ANSYS. Okay, obviously, and this license has to be enterprise license, right? Now when you come down, okay, you just browse the folder where you want to save the work, right? In working directory, you just browse the folder where you want to save this file. So let's say I will save this in this folder. Okay, I will just open that folder and I will save it in a practical number 1. Okay, so I just selected that folder. I've just selected that folder where I want to save this practical. Okay, because multiple files will be generated. Now job name. Okay, here I supposed to give the job name. So I'll give the job name as structural analysis. Okay, structural analysis bar under axial load, bar under axial load. Okay, that is bar under axial load, right? Now see, you can see this option of run. Okay, you can see the option of run, which is here. Okay, so just click on that option run. Okay, you just click on that option run, right? Okay, I just click on that option. Okay, so this will start. So this is the starting window you will get. This is the starting window you will get. I'll just maximize it. So I'll maximize that. Okay, and what I will do initially is I will try to make this background, okay, to be white. So for that I'll go to plot control. Okay, I'll go to style. Okay, then I will just go to color. Okay, I will go to plot control, style, color, and then I will click on reverse video. I'll just click on reverse video, right? So I'll get a white background, right? Now see, now I need to now start with the start performing the practical. So as I told you in the previous session, you just keep on clicking this option of save DB. Just keep on clicking in between. It's like Control S, right? So in order to start, see the procedure, it is clearly given. Okay, in the stepwise manner only. Go to preferences, then preprocessor, then solution. Okay, so this is a procedure. So let's start with this one. Okay, I'll go to preferences, right? Now see, if you clearly see the problem, okay, I will just make it cancel first. Okay, if you can see the problem, okay, if you can see the problem, okay, see, I'll just show you the problem. I'll just minimize it. Okay, okay. So now see, all of you, if you just see this problem, basically, okay, see, this is our problem, right? Where we're interested to get what is the value of displacement and stress, right? So whenever we are interested in force, displacement, stresses, right? So in such case, we are focusing on structural field, right? So we are focusing on a structural field. So I'll just click on structural. Okay, I'm not interested in what is temperature, what is heat flow. Okay, if you are interested in that, you need to click on thermal, right? We are interested only displacement, forces, stresses. So I'll click on structural, and now I will say okay. Now see, what is the advantage that you will get, okay, when you do it in this manner is the elements of that particular field will be available, right? Because if you see the structural problems where the properties like modulus of elasticity, modulus of rigidity, right, all those plays key role. Okay, so these properties are supposed to be entered. Okay, and if you select the structural field, then only you will be able to enter those properties, okay, which are responsible for the structural behavior, right? So that is very important. So next step, it is pre-processor, right? Now listen, this is the very step. Until and unless you define the element type, and unless you define the elements type, you are not able to enter the properties. You are not able to enter the properties. Okay. Until and unless you select the preferences, okay, you are not able to select the element. And until and unless you are going to select the element, you will not be able to enter the properties, right? So I'll go to element type. Okay, then I will go to add, edit, delete. Now I will go to add because I need to add it. you can see here now nothing has been added. So it's showing that defined element types, none defined, that nothing has been defined, right? So I will add it. So I'll go to add. Okay, now I will go to link. I'll go to link, right? And I will select this 3D finite STN 180. Okay, see, and it is clearly mentioned. If you go into the help section of the ANSYS, it is clearly mentioned which sort of element is to be used for doing the particular analysis, right? It is clearly given that if you need to do this analysis, you need to use this element only. Okay, so but as your expertise, as you becomes more and more expertise, you on yourself will also be able to select the elements directly. Okay, right? See, why I'm selecting the link 3D finite STN 180, this element will only have all those characteristics which are required for structural analysis. Okay, which are required for structural analysis, right? So this is the element which I'm selecting, link 3D finite STN 180. Now I will just click on OK. I will click on OK. Listen, I will not click on apply because I doesn't need to repeat the same procedure again and again, right? When you need to repeat the same thing again and again, you just need to click on apply. When you need to do it once, okay, just click on OK. So this is the element which I use. Okay, link 3D finite STN 180. I will just say OK because I need to end it. So I have selected this link 180 element. I have selected this link 180 element, right? So I'll just close it. I'll just close it, right? If you want to delete it, just select it and delete it, right? So I'll just, if you want to add one more, you just click on add, select whichever you want. Let's say I am adding the beam. Let's say I am adding the beam. See, it is not required for this problem. Let's say I'm adding the beam. I'll click on, I need to add, let's say this 2 node 188. I'll just say okay. So it is added, right? But I don't need it. I will just select it. Okay, and I will delete it, right? So this is how it works, right? So now I'll close it. I'll close it, right? So see, if you can see this problem, okay, see, there are three elements. There are three elements, right? Element number 1, you can see this element number 1, element number 2, and element number 3. But each element, it's a link 180. Okay, we are considering every element of type link 180. Okay, so every element will be link 180. Okay, so see this one. Every element will be link 180, right? Now I'll just minimize it, right? Now next I will go to real constant. Listen, now in the new version of the ANSYS, okay, the link 180, it is not supporting the real constant, right? Real constant, it is nothing but a cross sectional area. Real constant, it is nothing but a cross sectional area. Just try to see. Okay, if there is any difficulty, na, what I will do is, see, I'll just make some. I'll just, okay, I'll just write down something here, right? Okay. So I'll just write down something here. Just a minute. Okay. So okay. See here, all of it. So if you just click it here, na, just here. I'll just click on. I will just click. I will click on real constant. I will click on add, edit, delete. Right now, when I will try to click on add. Okay, we are entering the cross section area for this particular element. Okay, for this particular element, we are entering the cross section area, right? So I will just say okay. I'll just say okay. But as I told you, okay, this new version of the ANSYS, it doesn't supports the real constant for link 180. It is not supporting. Okay, this has been supported in the previous version, like ANSYS 16. It is supporting. Now it is 2021 version. It is not supporting. So for that, we have alternative option. So I'll just click on close. Okay, I will also close. Okay, now see why it is required. Just try to check. See, we have selected element number 1. Okay, we have selected element number 1. See, if you want, na, see, if you want, okay, I will just annotate it here only. I will just annotate it. See, I will just annotate here. Okay, I will annotate. Okay, let's say text. Okay, now talk. Let's see here. Let's see here. All of it. Okay, let's talk about element. Okay, let's talk about element. element. Okay, how many elements we have? We have 3 elements. Okay, I will write down element number 1, element number 2, okay, and element number 3. See, simple thing is there. Element number 1, element number 2, and element number 3. Okay, now try to understand. This is very important. Now this is very important. See, element number 1, element number 2, element number 3. Now see which link we have used, which link we have used for element number 1. Okay, this is link 180. I don't understand. For element number 1, we have used link 180. Same link we have used it for element number 2. Okay, we will use link 180. Okay, same you will use for element number 3, that is link 180. See, no any confusion is required here. Okay, you might feel that, sir, there are 3 elements and why you have selected only single link? Why you have selected only single link? Because see, we are going to select just single link, and that single link we are going to use for every element. Okay, so this is element number 1, 2, 3. Okay, which link we are using? We will be using link 180. We will be using, I will write down here more specifically, we will use link 180. Okay, we will use link 180, right? So this is all about your link. Okay, now see all of you. Now we will go back. We'll just go back there. We'll just go back. Now see all of you. Okay, so this is element number 1, 2, 3, link 180. Okay, now see real constant option, it is not supported, right? It is not asking to enter the values of cross section. You can see here we have 2 sets of cross section. One, it is 250 mm square, second it is 400 mm square, right? So we should make 2 set number 1, we will make it of 250 mm square, and that we are going to use it for element number 1 and element number 2. See here, 250 mm square, it is for element number 1 and element number 2. And one more set we are going to create, that is of 400 mm square, and that we are going to use it for element number 3, right? That we are going to use it for element number 3. So let's do that again. Okay, so after that we have material properties, right? Material properties. Okay, so just go to that section. Material properties, a single value of E is given. Single value of E is given, right? So I will go to material properties, right? Material properties. Okay, I will go to material models. Okay, because I am entering the value of model of elasticity. Okay, so I'll go to material model, and I have single material. So it is material model number 1. Okay, it's a structural analysis, it's a linear, it's a elastic, and it's a isotropic. Now see, this is very important. What is the value of E they have given? 200 gigapascal. Okay, so 200 gigapascal, it is to be written as 200 E9. That gigapascal we need to convert into pascal by multiplying by 10 raised to power 9. And in ANSYS, you need to write down 10 raised to power 9 as E9. Okay, 10 raised to power 9 as E9. I'm writing as 200 E9. It means 200 into 10 raised to power 9. Okay, and one more thing that is shown here is PRXY. This is called as Poisson ratio. Ex is the modulus of elasticity. PRXY, it's a Poisson ratio. Then that I will enter at 0.3. Okay, it's by default value which you are supposed to take it. I'll take it at 0.3. Okay, I have entered the values of material properties like the modulus of elasticity I have entered, and now I'll just say okay. Right, this material, a single material is created. Single material number 1 is created. Okay, with value of E as 200 gigapascal. If you can see here, single value of E is given 200 gigapascal that I have entered, right? Okay, so now go to the next step. Okay, I'll just close it. Okay, now I'll just minimize it. Okay, now next thing is section. Listen, previously the thing which you are doing in real constant, now in updated version of the ANSYS, it is required to be done in section, right? So in section, what we will be doing is, Okay, if I come back to the diagram, in section, I will be entering these values. I'll be entering the value of cross section. Okay, I will create two sets of the cross section, 250 mm square and 400 mm square. Okay, 250 mm square and 400 mm square. I will create two sets. One set of 250 mm square, I will use it for element number 1 and 2. Second set of 400 mm square, I will use it for element number 3. Okay, so I'll go there and I'll do that. For that, I need to go for sections. Okay, you can see the option of link here, link. Okay, link. Okay, it is required to be added. Okay, let me back 250 and 400, right? So I'll go to add. I'll go to add. Right now, it is asking add the link section with ID. Okay, what could be the idea? Let me have first section, or if you want, I will write down as cross section area 1. Cross section area of 1. I will write down, it's just a name, cross section area 1. Okay, now I'll say okay. I will just say okay. Just back. Okay. Otherwise, see, if you need to add it, na, just simply you can write down as 1 only. Section ID 1. I'll just say okay. Okay, now it is asking what is the section name? Section name, right? Okay, as I told you, I'll write down as CS cross section area 1. So this is the name, cross section area 1. And what is that cross section area? It is a 250 mm square. It's a 250 mm square, right? I will write down these as 250 mm square. I need to convert this into meter square. I will make it 250 into 10 raised to power minus 6. That is 250 e minus 6, right? That is 250 e minus 6. Because it is 250 mm square. So this is 250 into 10 raised to power minus 6. That is 250 e minus 6, right? So this is the first set which I have created, right? First set I have created. Okay, so I will click on apply now because I need to create one more set. So I will click on apply. Okay, now I will give a second set. I will give the name as add the link section with ID. I will enter it as 2, and now I will click on OK. Okay, now here I will give the name cross section. Okay, cross section area 2. This is just name, cross section area 2, and its value is 450 mm square. So 450 mm square is 450 e minus 6. That is 450 into 10 raised to power minus 6 meter square. Okay, 450 mm. Okay, I think it is 400. So I'll enter these as 400. 400 e minus 6. Value is 400 mm square. That is 400 into 10 raised to power minus 6. That is 400 e minus 6. Right. So this I have entered. Now I'll finish with OK. Okay, I will finish with the OK because I need to end this process. I need to end this process. So I will say OK. Okay. So let me again annotate it. Okay. So I will just write down here. Okay. I will just write down here. So now here, what we can do is see element number 1, 2, 3. Okay. If you can see for every element, every element, we have same material. Okay. So material number, what is your material? We have same material. Okay, I will write on material number. Okay, so for element number 1 it is 1, for element number 2 it is again 1, because we have single material, okay, we don't have different materials, right? We don't have different materials. Okay, see, if you want, I will write down again. See, this is for every, try to understand, huh? For every element, either it is element number 1 or it is element number 2 or it is element number 3, we have single material because the single value of E is given, right? So see, I'll write down, it's a material number 1. Okay, this is again material number, here again 1, because only we have single material, so there is no option, material number 1, right? Next, okay, and now we have entered real constant set number, okay, or cross section area we entered, right? See, try to understand, cross section area, okay, area number, cross section area number, or cross section area set number. If you want, I will write on set, cross sections area set. Okay, now if you talk about this one, right, if you talk about this element number 1, okay, element number 1, it is of 250 mm square, so you require first set. Element number 2, it is again of 250 mm square, you require first set. But if you talk about element number 3, it is of 400 mm square, where you require set number 2, where you require set number 2. Is that okay? Is that okay to all of you? Okay. So see here. So we will go to that. Okay. So section is over. Try to understand. Huh? Section is over. See, for element number 1 and 2, you require 250 mm square, and for element number 3, you require 400 mm square, right? So that the same thing it is written. For element number 1 and 2, you require first set, that is of 250 mm square. For element number 3, you require second set, that is of 400 mm square, right? So that is what is done. Now we will go to modeling, right? We will go to modeling, right? See, purpose to go for modeling is to initially create the nodes, right? We need to create the nodes, and we need to join the nodes so as to create the elements in between. So first purpose to go for modeling is to create the nodes, and once you created the nodes, you join those nodes with the help of elements, right? So see, all of you, see here, all of you. See, this is the diagram which is given, right? This is the diagram which is given. Okay, try to see here, all of you. See, this is the diagram. This is the diagram which is given, right? Now, what I will do, I will just see, nodes have been already created, right? Node 1, node 2, node 3, node 4. Elements are also there. Element number 1, element number 2, element number 3. But you need to draw some diagram for that, right? We need to create some geometry in the ANSYS. Okay. So see what is node? Node, it is nothing but a point. So if you need to locate a point, okay, you should have the coordinates of the point. Okay. If you need to locate the point, we should have the coordinates of the point, right? We should have the coordinates of the point. Okay. So what I will do, see what I'll do, I will assume the node 1, I will assume the node 1 as a reference point. I will assume the node 1 as a reference point. See what I need the location of node 1, I need the location of node 2, node 3, and node 4, right? So for that, what I will do, I will assume node 1 as a reference point with coordinate 0, 0. Okay. Now can you tell me what is the location of node 2 with respect to node 1? If node 1 it is at 0, 0, what is the location of node 2 with respect to node 1? It is 0.150, okay, comma 0. This is the location of node 2. What is the location of node 3? It is 0.300, comma 0. Okay. And what is the location of node 4? What is the location of node 4? It is
0, 0.
How it is 0, 0? It is 600, comma 0, na? It is 600, okay, comma 0. Try to understand. See, node 1. See what I required. I required points. I required the points. That, see, what is node? Node, it is nothing but a point. So I in order to plot a point, I need the location of the point. So I should know x and y coordinate. So for that, what I will do, I will assume the leftmost node with the coordinate 0, 0. That is, I will call the node 1 as a reference node with coordinate 0, 0. Now I will try to locate the node 2 with respect to node 1. So what is the location of node 2 with respect to node 1? Okay, what is the distance between node 2 and 1? It's 150. Okay, horizontal distance is 150. That is 0.150 meter. And what is the vertical distance? Both are at same location. So there is no vertical distance. It's a 0. Right? Now go to node number 3. I need the location of node 3 with respect to node 1. Every node we are locating with respect to node 1. So what is the distance between node 3 and node 1? It is 300. This distance is 300. So this is 0.300 meter. And what is y distance? There is no any vertical distance between node 1 and node 3. So it is 0. Now you go to node 4. Okay, what is the location of node 4 with respect to node 1? Okay, it is 600. It is 600, and that is 0.600 meter. And what is the vertical distance? There is no vertical distance, so it's a 0 value. So is that okay? Is that okay, all of you? Yes or no? See, node 1 will be at 0 0, right? Now let's talk about node 2. See, this is node 2. Okay, this is node 3. Okay, and this is our node 4, right? This is our node. This is our node, right? So try to understand. I'm just trying to make it more and more simple. Okay. So this is node 1 at 0 0, node 2 at 0.150, node 3 at 0.30, node 4 at 0.60, right? So okay, so now I'll go to the ANSYS so as to plot it. Okay, so we'll come back to the ANSYS. See, this is node 1 at 0, node 2 at this, node 3 at this, and node 4 at this, right? So I'll go to create, I will go to nodes, I'll go to active CS, in active CS. Okay, I am plotting the nodes in active CS, right? So let's start with node number 1. Okay, see, what is the x coordinate of node 1? It's a 0. What is the y coordinate? 0. Okay, listen here, y coordinate doesn't matter, or z coordinate doesn't matter, because all the nodes are at the same horizontal height. Okay, there is no any vertical distance. So if you're not going to put this as a 0, it doesn't matter, right? So for node number 1, what is the x and y coordinate? 0 and 0. X and y coordinate, they are 0 and 0, right? So I'll just click on apply, because I need to do it same for node number 2. Now I'll enter this as node number 2. Okay, so for node number 2, what is the x coordinate? 0.150, 0.150, right? Now I will just click on apply one more time. Now I will enter node number 3. Node number 3. Okay, what is the x coordinate? 0.300, 0.300, and y coordinate is 0. I will click on apply. Now I'll go to node number 4, and what is the x coordinate? 0.600, y and z are 0. So now I will click on OK. I will click now OK, because I need to finish with this one. So I will click on OK. So you can see the problem. Okay, the nodes have been created. The nodes have been created, right? Nodes have been created. Is that okay? Is that okay to each of you? Is that okay?
Yes.
Now see, now once we have created the nodes, see, you might feel that sir, node 1 is not visible, but node 1, it is the intersection of x, y, and z axis. So it is going to coincide with the intersection point of x, y, and z axis. So here only the node 1 will lie. This is node 1. This is node 2 it is showing, node 3 it is showing, node 4 it is showing. Now see, these are just the points. Now we need to connect those points. And those, see, when you connect those points with the help of lines, so our lines are nothing but elements. If you can see here, okay, how we have connected point number 1 and point number 2 with the element, point number 2 and point number 3 with the element, right? So we will come back to this. Okay, so I'll go to elements. Now see, before connecting the elements, we need to set their properties. Okay, we need to set their properties. Now see, I need to connect now element number 1. I will start with element number 1. I need element number 1. So element number 1 has to be between node 1 and node 2. Element number 1, it has to be between node 1 and node 2. Okay, so what properties it should have? It should have link 180, link 180. It should have material number 1, and it should have real constant set number 1. Try to check it. How to check it or how to modify these properties? Just go to element attributes. Okay, just go to element attributes. Now just try to check, all of you. For element number 1, I supposed to connect. It should be link 180. You can see this option. Only link 180. A single element is available. So there is no problem with link 180. Then material number. Okay, it's material number. It has to be 1. You can check it. Material number has to be 1 because we have single material. And it's cross section area. Cross section area. Okay, you can check it here. Cross section area 1, because when you click it here, the two options will be available. First set of 250 mm square, second set of 400 mm square. But for element number 1 and element number 2, we should have 250 mm square area. That is first set. So this is the first set, which is already there by default. Okay, it is already available, right? So okay, I'll just cancel it because all the properties are already available. So I'll just cancel it. Okay, now I will go to auto number. Okay, now see, before that, before going to connecting the elements, if you want to see whether your form the nodes correctly or not, for that you need to go to list option. Just go to list option. Okay, just go to list option, and then you go to nodes. You need to see the nodes. Okay, you need to see the nodes and just say okay. Just say okay. Just see, this window will be there. Okay, it will show where is the node 1. You can see this. You can just see this this column. Okay, this column you see x coordinate you see for node number 1 0 0, for node number 2 0.15, node number 3 0.3, node number 4 0.6. This y z theta y theta z theta x, it doesn't matter, right? We are interested only in x coordinate, so it is okay. So I can proceed next. Now I'll go to auto number. Okay, I will go to through node. Now I'm connecting the elements. I have checked with the properties in element attributes. Now I will go to auto number. I will go to through nodes. See, when you go to through nodes, what will happen is one window will pop up, right? This is the window which will pop up, right? Now this window, it is basically asking to pick the nodes. What this window it is asking? It is asking to pick the nodes where we want the element to be connected, right? This window, it is asking basically to pick the nodes where you want the element to be connected. I want element number 1 between node 1 and 2. I want this element number 1 to be connected between node 1 and 2. So I will initially select node 1. That means I will click on node 1. So when I will click on node 1, you can see node number 1 is selected. You can see here node number 1 is selected and total one node is selected. As of now, only one node is selected. Okay. Now I will click on node number 2. I will click on node number 2. Now you can see currently node number 2 is selected, but total 2 nodes are selected because initially I have selected node number 1. Now I selected node number 2. So these 2 nodes have been selected, and currently node 2 is selected, right? So now I will click on OK. I will click on OK. Listen, I will click on OK. I will not click on apply, because if I click on apply and if I join node number 2 and node number 3, obviously the element will be connected. Okay, but with the same properties as element number 1. With the same properties as element number 1. So now see, just see, before clicking on OK or apply, OK when you need to click, when you need to finish. Apply when you need to click, when you need to repeat the same procedure. Okay, but provided you should have same properties for the element which you will be connecting now. Okay, now I need to connect element number 2 whose properties are same as element number 1, same as element number 1. So now I can click on apply. I can click on apply because I need to repeat that procedure which I done for element number 1. So I will click on apply, right? So element number 1 is selected. Now I will create element number 2. So for that I will select node number 2. You can see node number 2 is selected, but total one node is selected. Okay, total one node is selected. Now I will select node number 3. Now node number 3 is selected, but total 2 nodes are selected. Now 2 nodes are selected. Okay, now see, now I should click on OK or apply. Now see, the properties of element number 2 and element number 3, they are different. See, they are having same link, they are having same material, but for element number 3, the cross section area set number is 2. Set number is 2, right? So I need to finish it. I need, because I need to, I supposed to finish it. I need to set the new properties and then I need to connect it. Okay, so I will click on OK. I will just click on OK. Okay, so these two elements are connected with the same properties. Now I need to connect element number 3 and it should have these properties. So I will, for changing the properties, I will go to element attributes. I'll go to element attributes. Now you can check it here. For element number 3, link is 180. Try to check. See, this link is 180. It's a single link. Material number is 1. See, this material number is 1. Right? Now, what it is asking, cross section area, it should be 2. Okay. Now if I say, if I try to connect, it will connect. Obviously, element will be connected, but it will be connected with the first area. I doesn't want. It should be connected with the second area. So I should select this as the second area. Okay. So second area I changed. Second area I have changed, and I said okay. I said okay. Right now properties have been changed. That means this have changed for element number 2, element number 3. Now I'll go to auto number. I will go to through nodes. Okay. Now I need element number 3 between node 3 and node 4. So I will select node 3. Okay. So you can check it here. When you select node 3, node number 3 is selected and total 1 node is selected. Now when I click on node 4, node number 4 is selected, but total 2 nodes have been selected. That is node 3 and node 4. Now I will say okay. I'll say okay. So this element is been created. So element is been created, right? So this element has been created. So we have created the nodes, we have created the elements. So I'll just minimize it, right? Okay. Now see, this option of meshing will not be using in this practical. I'll let you know this in the subsequent practicals. Okay. So after this, okay, modeling. Okay, after the modeling, what we will do, we will go to loads. Try to understand. We will go to loads. So why it is required? So okay, try to understand this. Try to understand this. See, value of E we have entered. Value of E we have entered. 250 mm square, 400 mm square we have entered. This length 150, 150, 300 we have entered. That means we have used it. Now what is remaining? What is remaining? It's this 300 kilonewton which we have not yet used, or which we have not yet applied. This force we have not applied. But see, you will not be able to apply this force unless you make it fixed. You'll make it fixed. Okay, so initially you need to make it fixed at these nodes. So if you can see this structure, it is fixed at node 1. Okay, you can see it at, what do you mean by this fixed point? This fixed support, it is node 1. So fixed support, it is nothing but the connection between fixed support and element number 1. Try to understand. If you see this fixed support, just see this fixed support and just see this element. So fixed support and element, they are connected at node 1. So at node 1 you have fixed support and element number 1 connected, right? So at the same time on the right hand side you have fixed support and you have element number 3. So this fixed support and element number 3, they are connected at the point number 4. See, this is fixed. That means what? Displacement at that particular node is 0. Try to understand. See, if you can just see this diagram. Okay, I'll just, or what we have solved, you can see. See, all of you, what we have taken, displacement at node 1 and displacement at node 4 is 0 because it is fixed, right? So what we'll do, see here it is fixed, at node 1 it is fixed, at node 4 also it is fixed. That means they can't move at node 1 and at node 4. That means displacement at that particular point is 0. So I will go to define loads. I need to apply what? Structural. In loads, I will go to define the loads. I will go to apply. Okay, now in apply, initially I will make it fixed and then only I will apply the force. So I'll go to displacements. I'll go to displacement. Okay, on nodes. See, this is very important. I will apply the displacement on nodes. Okay, I will apply the displacement on nodes. Okay, so I will select this node. I just selected this node. So node number 1 is selected and only one node is selected. Now I will select this node number 4. So node number 4 is selected, and total two number of nodes are selected, right? Total two nodes are selected. Okay, I'm doing both the things at a single time. I will not initially make it node 1 fix, then I will make it node 4 fix. That I'm not doing. I'll be doing in a single stroke. I will select node 1 and node 4, and I will say okay. I'll just say okay. So when I will say okay, you will get one message. Right? So it is asking what you want to constrain. So I need to constrain it in all directions. And to what value you need to constrain? I need to constrain it to 0 value, right? See, this is fixed support. What do you mean by fixed support? Everything is 0. Every displacement is 0. So all degrees of freedom are at 0. Right? Now I will say okay. So when you apply this constraint there, what will happen is you can see horizontal triangle, vertical triangle, which is appearing there. It means it is constrained in X direction, it constrained in Y direction, right? At the same time, it is constrained in Z direction. That means it is constrained in all directions. Okay, so now we have make it fixed. Once we have make it fixed, now we can apply the force. So at node 2, I will apply 300 kilonewton. Okay, at node 2, I will apply 300 kilonewton. So see, I will just minimize this. Now I'll go to force or moment. Okay, where I need to apply? I need to apply on node 2. So I'll select on nodes. When I select on nodes, okay, now I will select node 2. Okay, because when this window will come, it will ask to pick the node where you want to apply the force. So I will select node 2. So you can see here node number 2 is selected and total single node is selected, right? So this has been done. Now I will just say okay. Now see, so now it will ask you need to apply the force in which direction. Okay, whether you need to apply in X, you need to apply in Y or Z. So obviously I need to apply that force in X direction. It's a constant force. Okay, and what is its value? It is 300 kilonewton. See, 300 kilonewton. So that means 300 E3 Newton. 300 kilonewton. That means 300 into 10 to the power 3 Newton. That is 300 E3. E3 it means into 10 to the power 3. I'm entering this in a Newton, right? So I need to finish it because there is no any more force which I can apply. So I'll just say okay. So once I say okay, you can see this right arrow. Okay, red arrow which is going towards right hand side. That means you applied the force, right? Now I'll just minimize the force because this has been done. I will apply minimize structural, minimize apply. Okay, and I'll finish with the minimizing the loads. Now see, if you just come back to the problem and just see, is there anything which you are not yet entered? See, this E we have entered in material, 250 and 400 we have entered in these sections. In real constant link we have entered. This 150, 300 we have used while forming the nodes. This 300 kilonewton just now we applied. This fixed. Okay, that is displacement at node 1 and node 4. We have make it 0. So see, now everything has been entered. Right? Now the next step will be, we need to solve this problem. So we need to go to solution. We need to go to solve, and we just need to ask to solve current LS. So I'll just select current LS. So now I'll just say okay. So you can see you'll receive a message that solution is done, problem has been solved. So close. I'll just close it. I'll just also close this window, right? Now see, problem is been solved. Now thing is like that, we need to just now pick the answers. Okay, now as I told you, see, in preprocessor we are just selecting the field, right? In preprocessor we are setting the entire problem. Whatever the given data it is there, we are inputting that into a preprocessor. In solution we are just asking to solve the problem. Only just go to solve and ask to solve a current LS. Nothing else we are doing. Okay, now in general post prop, whatever the problem is been solved, for that we are trying to fetch the answers. We are trying to fetch the answers. Okay, now what I will do is okay, I'll just clear the screen. Okay. I'll just clear the screen. Okay. Now see all of it. Now our problem is been solved already. Now the next thing is we need to get the answers, right? We need to get the answer. See, now if you want anything in terms of some visual representation or in terms of some graphics, okay, you need to go to the plot results. Try to see the option plot results, because I need to see the shape. Okay, how it is going to deform. Okay, I need to see the shape. That is the reason why I'm going for plot results. I'll go to plot results. Okay, then I will go to deform shape. See, now this is the step where we want to get the answer. Now what answer we want, based on that we will go to particular option, right? I'll go to deform shape. I need, let's say I need to see the deform and undeformed shape. Let's say I need to see what is the initial shape and what is the shape after the deformation. That is deform plus underage. I have selected. Now I'll say okay. Okay. So see, in this you are not able to clearly see it. Okay, single line you are getting, right? Single line you are getting. You are not able to see it. Okay. If I go to deform shape again, I'll just select deform shape only. I can say okay. So this is only deform shape after the deformation, right? If I say deform plus undeformed, I'll just say okay, and this is the shape which you're getting, right? Now see, if we need to capture the image for this one, you just go to plot control, okay, and just capture the image. Go to see, if you want, I will repeat it again. Go to plot control and just capture the image, and just save this file. Just file, go to file and save as. So wherever you want, you just save it. Let's say I need to save. Okay, let's say I need to save this file here on the desktop. Let's say on this folder, your folder. Okay, practical number 1. So here I will save the file. So this file has been saved, right? Now see, but this is not turned to be a good representation. Okay, so I'll go to plot control. I'll just go to style. I will go to size and shape. See here, style, size and shape. Okay, and what I'll do here, this box is okay. In this box, I'll just click it. When I click it, it becomes ticked and on. When you click it, it becomes ticked and on. Okay, so I'll just say okay. So you can see this 3D shape. Okay, you can see this 3D shape. You can see the 3D shape which has been lying there. I just change this to isometric view. So in this right hand side panel, the option of isometric view is available. So I'll just do that. Okay, so this is the isometric view. Okay, this is the isometric view. So see, this is basically the bar. You can see here. See node number 1. Try to understand. Actually, try to understand from the diagram. Node number 1. I'll just annotate it. All of you just see here. Node number 1, it is here. Node number 1, it is here. What is about node number 4? It is here. So it is fixed. Right? Node number 1 and node number 4, they are fixed here. This is node number 1, which is node number 1 is lying here. Okay. Your node number 4, it is lying here. Right? Node number 4, it is lying here. Okay. What is about node 2? See, node 2, it was initially here. Node 2, it is initially here. Now it has got shifted here. Try to understand. Node 2 got shifted here, right? I will make it this as 2 dash. Node 3 was initially here. Okay, now it has got shifted here. You can see in the diagram. Now it got shifted here. Okay, now it has got shifted here, right? See, node number 1, it was here. Node number 4, it was here. They are at their same location, right? Node number 2, it was initially here. Now it has got to 2 dash, right? Node number 3, which was here, now it is got now shifted to 3 dash, right? It has got now shifted to 3 dash, right? Is that okay, all of you? Is that okay, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now see, this is the initial position of node 2, this is the final position of node 2. So distance between initial and final position will give me the displacement at node 2, that I will call this as u2. This is the initial position of node 3, this is the final position of node 3, that is 3 dash. The distance between 3 and 3 dash will give me the displacement at node 3. Okay, so this will give me the displacement at node 3. Okay, so that I supposed to calculate, right? So initially I will clear the drawing. I'll clear the drawing. I'll just change this to some front view. I'll just change that to front view. Okay, so let's see this. Okay, this is basically the front view, right? Okay, now see, I will go now again to deform shape. Let's see, work on first. Let's see the deform shape only, just deform shape, how it is looking. Deform shape only, I'll say okay. So this is only deform shape. Okay, it will show only deform shape. It will not show the shape before you have applied the force. It will not show that. Okay, so if you want to, I just click on isometric view, and if you want, you can just go to plot control and just capture the image. You can capture the image, you can save it wherever you want, right? So this is for deform shape. Now I will go to one more time deform shape. I will go to deform plus undeform. Okay, undeform. So this is the shape. This is deform plus undeform. Similarly, I will go to deform plus underage. I will say okay. So this is deform plus underage shape, right? Now see. So this is all about the your what you can say, the 3D diagram, right? Now see, if you want to see the animation for this one, okay, you just go to plot control, just go to animate. We want to animate, and we need to animate the answers. That means we need to animate the deform results. So I will go to deform results. See, if you want, I will do it again. I'll go to plot control. I will go to animate. I will go to deform results, because I need to see the results or answers, and I need to see the animations for that. So I'll go to deform results. Now see, I need to see the animation for, I need to see the animation for, okay, displacement. And displacement, it is nothing but degree of freedom, and that degree of freedom, it is I have in x direction, because I applied the force in x, so I will get the deformation or deflection in x direction, that is translation in x direction. So that is selected. Okay, now I'll just say okay. I'll just say okay. So you can see this animation. You can see this animation, all of it. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll just make delay. Okay. What I done, I just make delay 0, so it becomes more fast. When you make delay 0, the animation becomes more and more fast, right? So you can see the animation. Okay. When you will make delay as more, okay, your animation will be, what you can say, slow. Your animation will be slow, right? You can see this diagram clearly. Now see, if you can see the diagram or this animation, okay, in the region close to node 2, in the region close to node 2, in this region, okay, you're getting red region. You can see red region, it is appearing here. You can see this red region, because there you applied the force. There you applied the force. Okay, I'll just stop it, and I'll just close it. I'll just close it. Okay, so this is all about animation. Okay, now just try to see what answer we are getting. We are talking about numerical answers. We are talking about numerical answers. So for that, or let's see before that, okay, let's try one more option. I will go to plot the results. Let's say I need to go to counter plot. I'll just go to counter plot. Now I need to see the diagram, or I need to see where there will be the maximum displacement. Okay, where there will be the minimum displacement. For that, I will go to counter plot. Okay, and counter plot. So displacement, it is nothing but nodal solution. I will get the displacement at the nodes. So I will go to nodal solution. Okay, then displacement, it is nothing but a degree of freedom. Okay, and I am interested in x component of displacement, because I have only displacement in x direction. So I'll just say okay. I'll just say okay. Okay, so this is the value, this is the diagram for displacement. You can see the diagram. Okay, so see, just if you refer the below scale, okay, where you have zero displacement, the region it is blue. Okay, in the blue region you have the value equal to zero displacement, and where that blue region it is coming, at the extreme ends, you are getting blue region. That is at node 1, and at node 4 you are getting red region. Okay, at the extreme ends, that is at node 1 and node 4 you are getting blue region. That means their displacement is zero, right? Now we will talk about what is the value of maximum displacement. Maximum displacement will be in the red region, so you can see this red region. Okay, the red region, it is node 2. So in node 2, at node 2 you will get maximum. At node 2 you will get maximum displacement. At node 2 you will get maximum displacement. Okay, at node 2 you will get maximum displacement. See, at node 1 and at node 4 the region is blue, that's why displacement is zero. Okay, at node 2 region is red, that's why displacement is maximum. Okay, so see, so this is all about the diagram. Right? Now if I come back, okay, I'll just come back. Now let's see the answers, list the results. Okay, now let's see the numerical values. So for that, see, I need to calculate what is the value of displacement and what is the value of reaction. So when I need a displacement, I will go to nodal solution, because I will get the displacement at the nodes. Okay, then I will refer same. I will go to degree of freedom, because degree of freedom, it is nothing but a displacement. I will refer to the x component of displacement, because I will have a displacement in x direction. Now I will say okay. Now see, all of you, just clearly see this window. This is very important. Window. Right. Now see, what is the displacement at node 1? It is 0, because this is the boundary condition which we have applied. This is not the answer which you got. This is the boundary condition. Displacement at node 1 is 0, which we applied. Displacement at node 4 is 0, which we applied. So at node 1, displacement is 0, and at node 4, displacement is 0. So these are the boundary conditions which we have applied. Right? These are not answers. Is there any problem?
So data khatam ho gaya.
Yeah. See, I will finish shortly. Right. See, now talk about node 2 and node 3. So what is the displacement at node 2? We are getting 0.62308 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter. 0.6230 into 10 to the power minus 3 means 0 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter. Okay, and this one is 0.34615 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter. That means it is 0.6230 mm, and this is 0.3461 mm. Okay, now just check with the answers which we have got. In our numerical calculations. Okay, I hope. Now we'll just see this. Okay, because we have already solved this problem. See, all of you see this value. Whether we got the same values, just see this value, 0.6231 and 0.3461. Let me show the same values, 0.6231 and 0.3461. Have you got the same values? This value it is in meter. This value it is in meter. That means 0.6230 mm. You can see 0.6230 mm, 31 mm, and second value is 0.3461 mm, right? This value is 0.3461 mm. So we have got same values. Is that okay? All of you, is that okay? So just save this file. Okay, you just save this file wherever you want. So I need to save that in the folder. I'll just save that. Okay, I will close it. So this is the displacement which I got, right? Displacement. Next thing, I will calculate reaction. So one simple option is available. Go to reaction solution. go to reaction solution. I will get a reaction in x direction, that is fx. Just say okay. Just say okay. So you see, these are the values of reaction which I got. See this one. See reaction solution 0. See minus 0.207. See minus 0.20769 into 10 raised to power 6 into 10 raised to power 6. That means 207.69 into 10 raised to power 3. Just take it value. See this 207.7 10 raised to power 3, and it is kilonewton. Same value. Then this value minus 92.29 kilonewton. You can see here minus 92.29 kilonewton. You can check these values. See, if you talk about these values now, see, let me brief you. Okay, I will just annotate these values. I will just annotate these values. So see, all of you just see these values. I'll just make, if there is any confusion, I will just make that. See this, all of you. See, what does it means? This means that, see, if you see this value, it means that minus 0.207 minus 0.207.69 into 10 raised to power try to understand 10 raised to power 6. See, minus 0.207.69 into 10 raised to power 6. Otherwise, see, I'll just write down. I will just erase this. There is no edit point. Minus 207 minus 0.20769 into 10 raised to power minus 10 raised to power 6. So can I write down like this? So it is minus 0.20. Okay, 7. Otherwise, I will directly take that 207.69. Okay, 207.69 into 10 raised to power 3 into 10 raised to power 3, right? And that is nothing but minus 207.69 10 raised to power 3. It is nothing but kilo. Okay, so I will write down these are the kilonewton, right? See, this value which you got, it is in Newton, right? This value which you got, it is in Newton. This value, this is again in Newton, right? This value, it is again in Newton. Okay, this value which you got, I just tried to reform it. This is again in Newton. And what is 10 raised to power 3? It's a kilonewton. Okay, same thing is going to happen with this value. See, this is Newton. This is Newton, right? So that means it is minus, try to understand, that means it is minus 92.308 kilonewton, right? Right. So see, just minus 207.69 minus 92. I'll just make it 31 minus 92.31. You can check these values. You can check all of it. You just check these values with what values we have got. You just check these values. Minus 207.70. See, minus 207.70. This is the value. Minus 92.31. See, minus 92.31. So we have same values which you got. Is that okay? All of you, is that okay? Is that okay to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is how we have performed the practical. Okay, whatever the analytical answer or whatever the see, in this lecture, in the previous lectures, we have solved this problem manually, and now we have solved by using ANSYS, and we have compared both the answers. And both the answers are matching exactly, right? Both the answers are matching exactly. So this is how we are going to solve the problem. Is that okay, all of you? Is that okay to all of you? Is there any doubt? Is there any doubt? Okay. So in today's session, we have finished with the structural analysis bar under axial load. So in the next lecture, we will take structural analysis bar under axial load, but with the thermal effect. Okay.